Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo. This is Metaphysical Empowerment and Wellness Events. We do video interviews with our various practitioners, our readers, healers, and vendors, so you get a sense of who we are before you meet us at an event. So I'm here today interviewing Barb Ryan. So Barb is one of our practitioners. So Barb, tell us about what you do and what you share at our events.
Sure. There's a couple of different things that I do, and one of them is that no matter what else I'm doing as far as healing, I often have my book with me, Love, Love's Fear. And the book is all about the relationship between love and fear and how fear really struggles to keep a hold of us and how we can feel so empowered by allowing the love in. So those will be there. The other thing that I do is I'm a sonic oracle. And what that means is that I have a Tibetan symbol, and that people put in little pieces of paper with questions on them, or they ask a question of me. And then I would play the bowl. You'd hear the papers dance around in there. And as I would play the bowl, I would go into a trance state and get transmissions, channeling, if you will, for not just answers to people's questions, but teachings. So if someone asked, should I move to New York or New Mexico, a teaching might come through that would be about how do you discern? How do you make decisions in your life? What's the most loving thing to do? How does it feel in your body? So it's not like an 8-ball where it just says yes or no, but there's a process involved that comes through me that's very personalized to each person.
Yeah, so tools to how each person can use their own body as an 8-ball.
Yes, exactly. That's one way to say it. Yeah, teaching people how to do that.
Yeah, their own soul, right, as an 8-ball. Well, how fun. So what is it like at a fair if someone wants to do a session with you? What does that look like then?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really, really fun at the fair, any of the fairs, because when you walk in, no matter what building it's at, it just feels so good. The ambiance of all of these healers who have just had an opening circle at the beginning of the fair, no matter when it starts, and have set this intention for it to be the most healing day possible for everybody who entered. The healers, the participants, the shoppers, anybody at all. And so you walk in, it just feels wonderful. And then people will often feel drawn to a particular booth, or they might want to go around the whole fair and look at all of the different booths that there are. Either way that you do it, you end up going to a healer or a reader or a practitioner that you feel drawn to. And then for a nominal fee per minute, usually, per 15 or 20 minute segments or so, you pay the person and get a sampling, and sometimes much more than a sampling, of what they do, how they can help you to be healthier and happier, more in touch, more in tune with your life and what's going on with you right now. And you get to spend hours going booth to booth. And there's places to sit for a moment. There's places to have a snack or have a drink. There's always some healthy food around. There's always somebody that says, can I help you?
Mm-hmm. And so if someone wants to do work with you at a fair, do you have your bowl at the fair? They simply ask, they don't put a paper in the bowl, right? Or how does that work?
Well, they could, if they wanted to. If there's like a line of people, that could happen. They could be writing down a question or two that they would then put into the bowl. Mm-hmm. Or people can ask me directly. When I do it in groups, I always do all the paper in the bowl at the same time. But for individuals, it could even be a piece of paper, or they hand it to me once they've written it down, or they could just tell me. The value of writing something down is hearing it read back to you, because it's often read back with a different emphasis on the words, and you hear the question in a whole different way than you asked it. So that's why some people choose to write it down. When people ask a question, they can ask something very personal, literally on a cellular level, or they could ask something on an intergalactic level, you know,
Mm-hmm.
a teaching or an advisory or some input into their life, a teaching tool, happiness tool could come through for them.
Mm-hmm. You just mentioned happiness. I know happiness is so important to you. Maybe just
Yeah.
share a little bit about that.
Sure. I was a counselor for 25 years, mostly working with people around trauma issues. And then a few years back, probably almost 10 years now, I got a calling to be the goddess of happiness and to be a happiness coach, a life coach. And the difference is people are coming with the same issues, the same concerns, the same blocks, but they're knowing that they're asking for help with them right where they are. There's not a lot of ruminating about the past. Something about the past could come up in the present moment as part of the healing, and that would be great. But we start right where we're at. And the focus is always, what would love do? How could you love yourself more? How could you bring more love into your life?
Mm. Yeah, I love that. Right, taking us back around, to love, love, sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there any, do you want to give us any little sample of the book? Is there any piece you want to open to or anything like
Oh,
that?
sure.
Or,
I could just start at the beginning and go through a couple different pages. That
sure.
beautiful
Yeah,
is
just go through a little bit.
and the illustrations are done by this woman, Elise Hennessy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just a beautiful artist. And it was as though I thought the pictures in my head and they came through her artistry. We worked so well together. So I would love to read, there's a Rumi quote that starts this. And I'd love to read that because it's a little bit longer version of something I had used before.
Sure.
As I know you're tired, but come, this is the way. In your light, I learn how to love. In your beauty, how to make poems. You dance inside my chest where no one sees you, but sometimes I do. And that sight becomes this art. And I just think that's a beautiful introduction to the book. And I dedicated to the book to the divine loving light that surrounds us all and is within each of us. May we feel and know the presence of love. So then it shows what love looks like, and this is love. And love loves everything, especially fear. And this is a picture of fear.
Mm.
And fear fears everything, especially love. I'll give you one sample of what the fear will do. So when love approaches fear, one way that fear responds is to get really, really big and angry and try to scare them. And all throughout the book, it shows what fear does to try to get away from love. And no matter what it does, no matter where it goes, love is patient, love is kind, love loves the fear, unconditionally, no matter what. And it's a story about how the fear begins to accept that. It's a beautiful healing story for these times. It looks like a kid's book, and that's just because it's so warm and inviting. Really a message for everyone.
It's great. And as you're sharing, I remembered also that it's available in Spanish as well.
Yes, there's a Spanish copy of the book.
Oh, that's great. Sweet.
Get it through my website.
Yeah, how can people learn more about you and get your book also?
The book is through the website Barb Ryan Author, BARBRYANAUTHOR.com. And you can order the book through there, and I will send them an autographed copy of it. And you can also, if you're in Eugene, you can get it at Tsunami Books. And there's some different books and faith centers and churches that have carried it at different times. You can always go ask for it there or ask for it at your library.
That's great. And if people want to learn more about you, where on the web can they find out more about you?
At my main website, which is spiralingtowardjoy.org. And on Facebook, there's a Barb Bryan author, and there's a Spiraling Toward Joy. So you can look on both of those and find out about me and what I do and who I am and my philosophy. It's all about love and happiness and healing.
That's great. Yeah, lots of options for people to find you and find all kinds of resources. Well, for the people viewing, thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you meet Barb and connect with all the rest of us at our Metaphysical Empowerment and Wellness events. We currently have events in Seattle, Portland, Salem, and Eugene, where Barb is. So, MetaphysicalEmpowermentEvents.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.